Picture this, it's July 2025 in London. Hundreds of people flood the streets outside the London Palladium every single night. They're not protesting, they're not shopping, they're waiting for a free performance from one of Hollywood's most controversial young stars. Rachel Zegler emerges on a balcony in a blonde wig and white ball gown, and the crowd goes absolutely wild. This is the same actress who just 4 months ago starred in one of Disney's biggest box office disasters ever. The same actress who major studios reportedly want touch with a 10-foot pole. So how did we get here? How did Rachel Zegler go from being Hollywood's next big thing to its most toxic celebrity and then somehow find redemption on the London stage? Buckle up, because this story has more twists than a soap opera. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that like button if you want more stories about celebrity downfalls and comebacks. Trust me, this one's a doozy. Our story begins in 2001 in New Jersey, where Rachel Ann Zegler was born to Colombian and Polish parents. From the start, she was a classic theater kid. School musicals, YouTube covers of Disney songs, the whole 9 yards. Nothing particularly special there. Thousands of kids do the same thing every year, dreaming of making it big. But in 2018, something happened that would change everything. Steven Spielberg, yes, that Steven Spielberg posted an open casting call on Twitter for his West Side Story remake. Rachel, who was just 16 at the time, sent in videos of herself singing "Tonight and I Feel Pretty." Out of 30,000 applicants, she got the part. Let that sink in. 30,000 people and a complete nobody from New Jersey beat them all. It should have been a fairy tale beginning, and for a minute it was. When West Side Story came out in 2021, critics loved it. Rachel won a Golden Globe. She was 20 years old and on top of the world. Hollywood was calling her the next big thing, the next Jennifer Lawrence. Studios were lining up to cast her. Everything was perfect. That's when the problem started. See, Rachel had one fatal flaw. She could not shut up, and I mean that literally. The first red flag came during the 2022 Oscars. West Side Story got 7 nominations, including Best Picture, but Rachel wasn't invited to the ceremony. Now, most people would have been disappointed but kept quiet. Not Rachel. She immediately took to social media to complain about it. And not just complain, she basically bullied the Academy into giving her not just an invite, but a presenting gig. The audacity was breathtaking. Here was this 20-year-old with exactly 1 movie credit to her name lecturing the biggest film organization on the planet about what she deserved. But it worked, and that success taught her the wrong lesson. It taught her that throwing tantrums on social media got results. Things got worse during the press tour for Shazam 2. When asked why she took the role, Rachel said, and I quote, "I needed a job, I'm being so serious." Can you imagine? You're promoting a major studio film and you basically tell everyone you don't care about it, that you're just there for the paycheck. The film flopped hard and suddenly Rachel was 0 for 2 at the box office. But the real disaster was yet to come. In 2021, Disney cast Rachel as Snow White in their live-action remake. This should have been her big break, the role that made her a household name. Instead, it became the hill her career would die on. The problem started almost immediately. During promotional interviews, Rachel seemed determined to offend literally everyone. She criticized the original 1937 film, calling the prince a stalker. She said the new movie wasn't about finding love, but about Snow White becoming a leader. She talked about how the film was being updated for modern audiences. Every interview was worse than the last. She came across as arrogant, dismissive, and completely out of touch. The backlash was swift and brutal. Social media turned on her with a vengeance. The Snow White trailer became one of the most disliked in YouTube history. Disney panicked and delayed the film by over a year, hoping things would calm down. They sent Rachel on an apology tour. They hired social media managers to control her posts. Nothing worked because Rachel kept making it worse. Remember, this was all happening during the worst possible time in Hollywood. Audiences were sick of being lectured about modern values. The phrase "updated for modern audiences" had become box office poison. Films that pushed this angle were flopping left and right, and here was Rachel literally becoming the poster child for everything audiences hated about New Hollywood. But even Disney couldn't have predicted what happened next. In August 2024, right after the Snow White trailer dropped, Rachel posted a thank you to fans on Twitter. 1 minute later in the same thread, she added an "always remember Free Palestine." The post got 4 times more views than her original thank you. Disney executives were furious. Her co-star Gal Gadot, who is Israeli, started receiving death threats. Disney had to pay for extra security. Producer Mark Platt flew to New York to personally tell Rachel to delete the post. She refused. Then came the 2025 presidential election. Rachel posted F Donald Trump and said Trump supporters should never know peace. Disney had finally had enough. They hired a social media guru specifically to monitor every single thing Rachel posted. They were essentially babysitting a 24-year-old millionaire because she couldn't control herself online. If you're enjoying this absolutely insane story, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, it gets even crazier. March 2025 arrived, and with it came Judgment Day. Snow White finally released after years of delays and controversies. The result was catastrophic. The film opened to just $43 million domestically. Reviews were savage. It became one of the biggest bombs in Disney history, losing hundreds of millions of dollars. The film that was supposed to make Rachel a superstar instead destroyed what was left of her career. The fallout was immediate and brutal. According to industry insiders, no major studio would touch Rachel. She had no films in development, no TV shows, nothing. Her reputation was radioactive. She was difficult to work with, caused PR nightmares, and her movies lost money. In Hollywood, those are the 3 deadly sins. Sources say even her agency was considering dropping her. But here's where our story takes an unexpected turn. While her film career was imploding, Rachel had quietly booked a role in a London revival of Evita, the famous Andrew Lloyd Webber musical about Eva Peron. It was supposed to be a small 12-week run, a chance to get away from Hollywood and remember why she started performing in the first place. Nobody expected what happened next. Director Jamie Lloyd, known for his innovative staging, came up with a wild idea. During the show, Rachel would leave the theater walk onto an actual balcony and perform Don't Cry For Me Argentina to the street below, while the paying audience watched on screens inside. It was either brilliant or insane. Opening night arrived in June 2025. As Rachel stepped onto that balcony, something magical happened. The crowd went absolutely wild. Videos went viral immediately. Every night, hundreds, then thousands of people gathered outside the theater for this free performance. Andrew Lloyd Webber himself said it was the best the song's ever been sung. The reviews were stunning. Critics called Rachel phenomenal and enthralling. The same girl who couldn't buy a good review for Snow White was suddenly the toast of London. The show is selling over $200,000 in tickets daily. There's already talk of a Broadway transfer in 2027. Even more surprisingly, reports from the production say Rachel has been delightful to work with. She's professional, kind to the crew, and focused on the work. It's like she's a completely different person. Or maybe this is who she always was when she wasn't trying to be a movie star. In a recent interview, Rachel addressed the controversy, saying there are obviously things at stake by being outspoken, but nothing is worth innocent lives. She admitted to seeing a psychiatrist and taking anxiety medication after the Snow White disaster, but she also said she refuses to adopt a victim mindset, choosing positivity and light instead. The contrast is striking. In Hollywood, Rachel became a symbol of everything wrong with young celebrities. Entitled, outspoken, unable to read the room, but on the London stage, she's thriving. Maybe because theater audiences appreciate talent over controversy. Maybe because she's finally somewhere that feels like home. Or maybe because she's learned some hard lessons about when to speak and when to let the work speak for itself. Her next moves will be telling. She has one film in development, a comedy with Marisa Tomei. Whether that gets made probably depends on whether studios believe she's really changed. The Evita success helps, but Hollywood has a long memory. One successful stage show doesn't erase years of bad behavior and box office bombs. The Rachel Zegler story is a cautionary tale for the social media age. Talent alone isn't enough anymore. You need emotional intelligence, media savvy, and most importantly, the ability to know when to shut up. Rachel had none of those things, and it nearly destroyed her career before it really began. But it's also a story about redemption, about finding your way back to what you love, about learning from your mistakes. Whether Rachel can translate her stage success back to screen remains to be seen. Hollywood loves a comeback story, but it also loves to hold a grudge. What do you think? Does Rachel Zegler deserve a second chance in Hollywood, or should she stay on stage where she belongs? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of Hollywood's most controversial young stars, make sure to like and subscribe for more celebrity stories. Until next time, remember, sometimes the best career move is knowing when to stop talking.